one last thing, I was telling Ruth, when she told me about where we're meeting, I told her, you know, this store is going through it, you know, starting with the company days, Phelps Dodge store, company store, and then different owners. And then Joe Sumner owned this place at one time. And that was when I was about, I think it was about 11 or 12, I can't remember. I walked in there one day and his office was back there. And I said, Mr. Sumner, I'd like to have a job. And he said, well, I don't know whether I can really have somebody, but come back tomorrow. I came back. So I got something for you to do. Back in those days, the state of Arizona, when they sold tobacco, they had to have a stamp on the bottom of the cigarette package. And he said, I need somebody to put those stamps on there. And he said, I'll pay you a penny a carton to put the stamp. So I used to come in here about every other day or whenever you really needed. I'd go back there, take a carton of cigarettes and turn them over like it, line them all up and then wet the stamps and go. And if I was lucky, I'd made 50 cents. But I remember. And that was back there in that office space back there. And then another story about this place too is that, as I said, there are different owners came through. And one of the owners at one time was the Coughlin family. And the Coughlin family ran the store. And Mr. Coughlin, and he had some children. And by that time I was teaching at the kids in school. But one day, somebody, his cash register used to be about right in there somewhere. And one day, somebody came in and robbed him, and not only that, but he shot him with a .22 pistol. And I remember them saying, they got robbed, and Mr. Coughlin got shot. And I said, well, I guess for some reason, the angle was such that, you know, the forehead, your forehead in here, this is the thickest part of your skull. Bullet. That bullet, from what they said, was it went here and just traveled on over the top and did dig it out behind his head. And I was telling Ruth, I think the next day he was just sitting in his, you know, he was on crutches, so he just sat in a chair. He was sitting there checking out people like that. But that was a big robbery. So, wow. And then I remember the Francis family. That's who I was trying to remember the other day. One of the last owners, and you heard the Francis, I remember Mama Francis. Mama Francis was quite a lady. And she loved adopting children. I was her adopted son. I was part of Mama Francis. But anyway, those are some of the stories that I remember. I remember as a little boy, two things about the store too. Coming in here with my family, my mom, and during the war, I still remember the ration books. I remember the ration stamps with pictures of tanks and stuff like that. And the problem was that during the ration days, I remember my family always discussing that, especially like sugar and some of the things were really rare. And if they came in and word got out, boom, it was gone. So you know where we got that? There was a little store in Centerville owned by the Varellas, a little Mexican store. And when they got their stuff, there was enough to go around, so that's where we got our sugar and coffee and those things over there. And then the other thing I remember was, not only about those ration books and everything, but I also remember that workers could draw out ahead of time. and they would draw out on their salary, I believe, and get these coupon books. And those coupons then would be used here to buy groceries. And then they deducted off their salary. But I remember their coupon books would be like for $1, $2 or something. And I remember you could also use it over there at the gas station. For some reason, the connection was over there too with the gas station. Because I remember my grandfather buying gas with those coupon booklets. But anyway, you come in here and use those coupon books. And they also used to deliver. I remember Joe Selma had a system set up, especially for the elderly, that they could come and buy, and then he'd have somebody go around and deliver those groceries to their home. And I was trying to remember a guy who used to live, Mexican boy that used to work here for Joe. I remember his first name was Frank. I want to say Gallegos, but it's not Gallegos, it's Frank. Senior moments, but anyway, they would deliver your groceries for you. A lot of history in this little corner here. And,